All right, so 2.6 trillion budget. That was what was read in Parliament yesterday by Treasury CS Henry Rotich. There are those who say this is a budget that is perfect before a general election. In studio, as usual on Fridays, we have Dunstan Omari, political analyst, but he's so well versed on several other issues as well, so I wouldn't mind talking to him about the budget as well. And Gabriel Mudhuma as well, who's always here with me in studio. Gentlemen, 2.6 trillion shillings budget. What are your thoughts on that budget, Mudhuma?
That's a very, by the way, it's a lot of money, so to speak. But if we are talking about the budget in its entirety, holistically, I think you've had many Kenyans, just, small facets of Kenya saying that it is actually geared to the common mwananchi, the poor. And that's why you saw the headlines today, the poor. I mean, if you look to the nitty-gritties, number one, you've just talked about the soft household items, which are very well covered, the ungas and the two small things that we use in the house. Those are quite well covered. And that's why many people are reading it as suspect coming to an election.
I love how you said the two small things, because clearly you have no idea, apart from unga, what else?
You see, by the way, the basic tenant that everybody will talk about, every home will talk about in Kenya is the unga. Okay. So that just camouflages everything that we are going to talk about, whether you're talking about sugar, whether you're talking about cooking oil, whether you're talking about milk. I mean, without even convoluting the whole discussion about the budget, unga comes in as the most used commodity in every household. And
that is what a lot of people are complaining, actually, just before that budget was read, about unga.
We almost had an unga revolution the other day in town. People just trying to talk about it, and it was expensive. To that extent, I'll tell you. I walk around Mathare, and I know half of the time I have families that I support, and I'm not bragging about this. Okay. And so I know quite the price of sugar. Ikienda 150, I have an idea. But you also saw the few things that are making me like where the budget is going. Okay, divorce the fact that we are entering into an electioneering year. The youth, 18 billion, that's quite a substantial amount. Look at the elderly, they are well put in. Companies that hire interns, Dunstan Omari, 50%, slack they are getting from the government. I mean, those are some of the few things that we should be happy about. But again, the domino effect about fuel, that negates the whole thing. I wish they had looked into that a little bit, because when fuel goes, the price of fuel, when it goes up,
there's a trickle-down effect to everything else.
It's a domino effect that is created. So the other thing that we have to ask ourselves, the budget has been read, we've seen the good items that have come out of it. How do we enforce? Before Rotich runs and tells us, if they don't affect this, then I'll retract what I've said. I mean, how possible, how doable is that? And again, what instruments do we have? What instruments do we have in place to ensure that shopkeeper, Mama Mboga and Mama Mboga, they actually do take this to heart and actually reduce the price of the commodities?
One of the concerns.
So
in
again,
fact, yesterday on Prime yesterday, someone says, kidogo utasikia millers are saying there's some added cost, so of course we can't bring this down. Dunstan, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that, one, it was a perfect political document.
A
perfect
it's a good one.
disaster in terms of economics and microeconomics of this nation. One, it is a speculative type of budget that takes effect after the 8th of August 2014. 4 months to elections time is when the actualization of the minister's statements are going to be actualized. So Kenyans are still going to carry the burden, financial burden, until the 8th of August 2017. That's why I term it that it was a masterpiece in terms of hoodwinking Kenyans, that Kenyans, we have a budget for you. That budget was not a budget, because once a budget is read, then the policy statements take effect immediately, so that we are able to see that unga coming lower and lower from today midnight. What happened? The policy statements of budget always takes effect on the midnight of that day. Number two, when you look at what the minister was trying to address, for example, the unga question, me, I could have asked,
okay, Dunstan, listen, I need to fix your mic. I hear your mic has an issue. So, camera 4, great. People, you watching News Center, thank you for staying with us. We need to fix Dunstan's mic. It has an issue. We're taking a break. We'll be back.